Right to it, man. Welcome to Boston Talk Nightly. I have a couple of things I want to talk about. Haven't made any Boston videos in a couple of days. Been a little busy, but the first thing I want to talk about is Canelo Alvarez new deal with the Zone. It looked like the Zone was able to go out there and get a marketable fighter like Canelo Alvarez. Now he signed a what over $300 million deal, 11 fight deal. Now my thing is, will he fight the Charlos? Is Jacobs and them in there? Is Demetrius Andrade and them part of that plan? Now, if they're gonna give him that much money, they have to have return on their investment. So I believe Canelo will have to fight some of those guys because that's the only way you're gonna get the viewing audience. I mean, I'm not gonna say that's the only way you're gonna get the viewing audience because he does have the Mexican fans, the Latino fans. So he's going to be able to draw a crowd. So my fear is this: is this the Mayweather deal to when Mayweather signed that big contract with Showtime, and he fought a lot of guys we really didn't want to see him fight. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it culminated with the Manny Pacquiao fight eventually, but it was 5 years too late, man. That fight was 2 years late. We just wanted that fight just so they can just have a fight so all the talk can be over who's gonna win, who's gonna lose. It really came down to that for me. Just to see these guys just get in the ring and just get it over with, man. I got tired of debating guys and see I picked Manny Pacquiao and debating guys if he gonna beat Mayweather and all this stuff, and I was just happy it was over. It was more like a relief. You know what I'm saying? It was a dull fight. I don't care who thought who won. The fight was dull. So, like I said, is this that type of deal to where Canelo is going to fight anybody? You know what I'm saying? Just going to be fighting guys that we don't want to see him fight. I want to see him mix it up with the Charlos. I want to see him mix it up with Jared Hurd when he move up. I want to see him mix it up with Andrade. I want to see him mix it up with Jacobs. But that's a pipe dream. He's not gonna fight all those guys. I can tell you right now. He may fight two of those guys. He may even fight one of those guys. But hey, Canelo got his money. Good for him. Uh, I really don't look at Canelo the same way. Canelo, he's a drug cheat to me. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody else would have did what Canelo did, man, people will be getting blasted, blasted. And I'm going to blast him. I'm putting him on blast. You know what I'm saying? You beat Triple G the second fight. I thought Triple G won the first won both of the fights. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out, you was cheating in between. You got caught cheating in between the first fight and the second fight. So, you know, who's to believe that you wasn't cheating the first fight and found some other way to cheat the second fight? So when you get caught, you know what I'm saying, on performance enhancing drugs, your whole career comes into light. It comes into, you know what I'm saying, everybody can criticize your career now. It's up for debate of, what did you really do naturally? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, if Canelo is not fighting the guys I want to see him fight, I won't be tuning in to see him fight on the zone. Now I do have the zone app. I wanted to get it because I wanted to see the Povetkin Joshua fight. I wanted to see it clearly because I couldn't get it no other way clear. It would not come in clear, so I went on ahead and downloaded the app. The app did freeze on me a couple times, which was weird. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're paying money for an app. Well, I didn't pay money for the app. I just got the free download. For the free, the month. The month is free, so that's what I got. But it did freeze a couple times. It had good clarity, it had good, sound and all that, but in good picture, it just froze a couple times. It shouldn't freeze, so they have to, fix that freezing and that staggering of you know, the plan of the app. But I don't have anything against the zone. I don't have anything against Showtime. I don't have anything against HBO. People happy that HBO folded up. I don't have anything against Showtime. I mean ESPN. Wherever the fight that I want to see, if it's televised on any one of those, that's where I'm gonna go look at the fight, man. I'm not gonna sit up here and say, well, I'm not gonna get the zone because I don't like Eddie Hearn, or I'm not gonna get Showtime because I don't like Al Heyman. I'm not gonna get ESPN because I don't like Bob Arum. That's stupid, man. Wherever who look, and I know Eddie Hearn has come out and said that Joshua and Wilder fight has to happen on the zone. I'm okay with that because of this. If Eddie Hearn gives Wilder the money that he wants, if the money is more than what Showtime is giving him, is willing to give him, then he needs to go fight on the zone to get that money. Plain and simple. Canelo got a big large sum of money. Would Showtime have gave him that contract? Probably not. No. Would ESPN have gave him that contract? No. So he went to go get it. Who was gonna give it to him? So same thing for Deontay Wilder. If the zone say, okay, Deontay Wilder, we'll pay you $50 million guaranteed, and you can get some of the back end on the pay per view. And if Showtime is not willing to match that, then you got to go fight on the zone. Who cares, man? Go get your money. You have to get your money. I want to see the fight. You know, get your money, man. Go wherever the biggest payday is. Go get your money. Make the fights. Make these fights that the fans want to see, and get your money. And if you know what I'm saying. So I'm not gonna not support Deontay Wilder because he go fight on the zone. It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna not support Deontay Wilder because he go fight on ESPN. I keep hearing that none of these Al Haymon fighters have TV contracts. So if they don't have TV contracts, they can go fight on any TV network they want to go fight on. Because anyway, Al Haymon is just their advisor. Now that's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to only be their advisor. He's not supposed to be their promoter, their manager. He's supposed to be their advisor. So if he's just advising them, you know what your advisor is supposed to do? Your advisor is supposed to advise you to go get the most money you can get. And anyway, I don't need an advisor for that. I don't need an advisor to go tell me that they're probably going to willing to play me more than the station I've been fighting on. Now, if it's Showtime match it, then okay. But if Showtime don't want to match it and they're going to pay you a godly amount of money, go get your money. Plain and simple. Same thing for Errol Spence. Errol Spence. Look, I know a lot of people talking about Eddie Hearn not making the best fights possible. Eddie Hearn just not really getting started with his own. But Al Haymon has had all these fighters. Al Haymon has a lot of fighters, and we still not getting a lot of fights. We still not getting the Charlo, what's the name fight? I forget his name. Jared Hurd fight. We're not getting that fight. We're not, and they're both with Al Haymon. We're not getting Errol Spence in the ring with Danny Garcia or Keith Thurman or Sean Porter. And there's some other fight. Danny Garcia, I mean not Danny Garcia, Danny Jacobs is, even though he signed with Matchroom Sports and Eddie Hearn is his promoter, but Al Haymon is still his advisor. So it's still a lot of fights that we're not even getting. And a lot of people are focusing too much on Eddie Hearn. Now we already know Eddie. See, one thing about Eddie Hearn, all his stuff is out in the open, so you already know where he's coming from. Yes, he lies. Yes, he contradicts himself. That's what promoters do, man. Bob Arum does the same thing. He lies and contradicts himself. Back in the day, Don King did the same thing. See, the difference between Don King is, and that's why people didn't complain about Don King not making fights. Don King had all of the heavyweights, mostly all of the significant heavyweights signed to his company. That's why we got all the fights with Don King, because he had the heavyweight division on lock, and that's why we got all these different type of good matchups. So Al Heyman has the welterweight division just about on lock, just like Don King had the heavyweight division on lock back in the day, and we still not getting all the fights that we want at the time that we want them. So, and then a lot of people are focused on Eddie Hearn. You need to go focus on Al Heyman and wondering why Al Heyman can't get his in-house fights. Why he can't make the in-house fights. You know what I'm saying? We have to be consistent and get on everybody. If you're going to get on Eddie Hearn, you're going to get on Bob Arum, you got to get on Al Heyman. Because Al Heyman, these fighters think Al Heyman. They don't think Lou DiBella, and Lou DiBella is supposed to be the promoter for PBC. They don't at the fights. They don't thank him. They thank Al Heyman. So Al Heyman is running things. So if he's running things, why haven't he made the fights for Earl Spence that people want to see, or the fights for Jerry Hurd that people want to see? Yeah, we got the Laura fight. I mean, the Landy Laura fight. That was a good fight. People want to see the Charlo fight. You know what I'm saying? The Charlo's not getting the fight with Danny Jacobs. Even before he signed with Matchroom, they didn't get the fight with Danny Jacobs. So Al Heyman is a lot to blame here too for this welterweight division not being as clear as it need to be. Yes, I said it. He's the blame. Just as Eddie Hearn is partially the blame for the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? Things not happening there that people don't want to, that people want to see. People want to see Joshua and Deontay Wilder. And yes, I do believe Wilder wants the Joshua fight now. Yes, he's sincere. But I also know that Eddie Hearn and Joshua don't want that fight right now. They said it last year that they don't want the. Eddie Hearn said last year that he didn't want them guys to get in the ring until 2019 or 2020. You know what I'm saying? Joshua is young. Joshua's 28, 29. I think he just turned 29 or 28. He's about three years younger than Wilder. You know what I'm saying? So he can go 2 more years. Yes, Wilder can because Wilder hasn't taken any significant punishment. Wilder, you know what I'm saying, stays in shape all year round. He doesn't blow up in weight. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't get out of shape. So, you know what I'm saying? He's only 31, 32. You know, heavyweights tend to age well. They tend to fight, longer than the smaller weights because power is the last thing to go, and Wilder has a lot of that. So, um, yes, man. Who cares what network you fight? People need to stop worrying about what network these guys fighting on, who's their promoter, who's they signed to, how long they signed them. Who cares? As long as these guys give you the fights, support the guys that's gonna give you the fights. Who cares? So what? If Deontay Wilder go fight on the zone, he gonna lose support from the people that support him already? Come on, man, that's silly. That's silly, man. That's high school stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let that man sign wherever you want to sign, wherever it's best for him. That he gonna get the most money for him and his family. Let him go and sign wherever he want to sign from. That's why it was mind boggling to me that people were mad because Terrence Crawford signed back with Bob Arum. So who cares? That's what that man want to do. As long as he get in the ring and fight a Errol Spence, as long as he get in the ring and fight a Keith Thurman or Sean Porter or Danny Garcia or whoever, as long as he do that, I'm gonna support the man. Now when I see that he don't want to, you know what I'm saying, unify or he not aggressive, you know what I'm saying, trying to unify all the titles, then you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna start looking sideways. But now, yeah, I mean that Jose Benavidez fight, I really wasn't that excited about the fight, but I watched the fight because and Bob Arum doesn't have a lot of welterweights in his stable, so he has to fight somebody. Pacquiao left. Pacquiao, I'm gonna get on that in a minute. Pacquiao left and was to go sign with Al Heyman, so he doesn't have a lot of welterweights. He doesn't have Jesse Vargas anymore. I believe Jesse Vargas was with Al Heyman, so it's not a lot of welterweights he can fight. Would you gonna try to get Timothy Bradley out of retirement? No, so he had to fight who was there. The kid was undefeated, 27-0. Yes, he did get shot in the knee. Did it play a part in the fight? It could have, but at the same time, Crawford is just better. He's just better. In the fight, the two fights that Benavidez had in his comeback, he won those fights. So, like I said, I wasn't overly excited about the fight, but I watched the fight. It was entertaining. It was entertaining. Terrence Crawford was able to close out the show. Nobody's saying that he fought the fight mostly orthodox. I mean, not orthodox, southpaw. So he won the fight in his secondary position. You know what I'm saying? So, no, man. He dominated the fight like he was supposed to. He knocked the guy out. So, in the 12th round. Carried his power to the 12th round, knocked the guy out in the 12th round. So, and yeah, I'm going to talk about the Manny Pacquiao signing to Al Heyman. It was out of left field. But like I said, who cares who these fighters signed to? Now, I believe it was because Mayweather and Pacquiao 2 is going to happen. and Mayweather want Pacquiao to sound with Al Heyman. That's probably part of the agreement that he will fight Pacquiao, give Pacquiao the rematch. Pacquiao is clamoring for this rematch. I can't say who's going to win the rematch. Both of these guys are past their prime. Anything can happen. We can It can be a war. You know what I'm saying? Because of these guys losing reflexes, slow down. Sometimes when you get fighters in going up in age like this, they lose just enough for it to be a really good fight. So I mean, you have to wait and see. I'm gonna watch the fight, but I'm not gonna give the fight a whole lot of publicity, like I said before. But now, Mayweather saying that Pacquiao possibly had to fight Adrian Broner before he fight him. To me, that makes no sense. That makes zero sense. Now, Mayweather has been at the boxing ring fighting a competitive fighter, not named McGregor, for what, 2 years, 2.5 years, 2 years, something like that. So yes, he needs a tune up because Pacquiao has been constantly fighting. He fought Jeff Horn, he fought Jesse Vargas, he just beat Matisse, so he's been active. So yes, Mayweather probably should have fought Adrian Broner. You should have fought Adrian Broner, and then fought Pacquiao, beginning of next year in March. You know what I'm saying? February or March. Why Pacquiao fighting Adrian Broner? I mean, to me, it's a good fight. I know a lot of people saying they the build up will be better than the fight, but Pacquiao don't speak English, so it's not going to be a great build up. The better build up would have been Mayweather and Broner going at it, talking about each other, going at it. That would have been a better build up. To me, Mayweather should have fought Broner because that would have been a good build up. It would have been, to me, it would have been a pretty decent fight. Now, Mayweather got to be careful because Broner is still young. Yes, you could say Broner don't let his hands go sometimes, but it still will be a dangerous fight for Mayweather, in my opinion, if Mayweather don't come in there on his game. Now, I'm not high on Adrian Broner anyway, so you know what I'm saying. Simply because he doesn't let his hands go, and every time after Adrian Broner fight, everybody is down on Adrian Broner, but just before he fight again, people get right back riled up about Adrian Broner. What's going to be the tell again about Adrian Broner? He's not going to let his hands go. We all know Adrian Broner is not going to let his hands go. He's going to go in there. Pacquiao going to be moving around. Like I told you, when you have a guy in there that moves on Adrian Broner, they can move laterally, they can move in and out. He has a problem throwing his hands, simply because he's a front foot happy fighter. All his weight on his front foot. So it's like he's flat footed in the ring, and you cannot fight Pacquiao being flat footed. I'm sorry. I don't care how much what I'm saying. He still has a lot left. He's not Pacquiao 5 years ago. 5 years ago, of course, but he's a Pacquiao that can still beat you and still very dangerous. So I see him beating Adrian Broner. I just see him beating Adrian Broner. I don't see Adrian Broner winning. Now, you'd be hard pressed to see what really good fighter Adrian Broner has won. Now, the only thing Adrian Broner has done well in his career, he has moved up in weight and collect belts. You know what I'm saying? He jumped 2 weight classes, fought Paulie Malignaggi and won that title. But what opponent did Adrian Broner beat that impressed you? Because there's no fighter Adrian Broner fought where I can say, man, he beat a really good fighter. I'm gonna look at Adrian Broner. I'm gonna look at Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner record, but I know the guys that he lost to. You know what I'm saying? He lost to Sean Porter. He lost to Mikey Garcia. He lost to Maidana. So, and to me, those are the best fighters that he fought. He drew with Jesse Vargas, and Jesse Vargas just drew with Delorme. I'm trying to figure out what is Adrian Broner's biggest win. You got to say the Paul Malignaggi fight because he moved up 2 weight classes. But Paul Malignaggi is a middle of the road type fighter. Paul Malignaggi is not no great fighter. Paul Malignaggi is not no fighter you can look at your resume and say, "Well, I beat Paul Malignaggi." I'm look. I don't see the fighter that The fighters that he had a chance to beat to stamp his legacy as, you know what I'm saying, resume wise, was Marcus Maidana, Sean Porter, and Mikey Garcia. And what does that tell you about? See, Adrian Broner is in this weird place. Because usually when you see a fighter that lose all his step up fights, he's never really a world champion. And Adrian Broner is a 3-time world champion, but he lost all his step up fight. He lost all his step up fights, but I'm talking about step up in competition. Paul Malignaggi to me was not a step up in competition. He was a step up in weight, but that wasn't a step up as far as an opponent is concerned. I had him beating Paul Malignaggi. Now, Mikey Garcia was a step up. Sean Porter was a step up. Um, Marcus Maidana was a step up. And to a little bit of a lesser degree, Jesse Vargas was a step up, and he even drew that fight. And all other fights he lost. So Adrian Broner does not have a signature win. If you want to call that Paul Malignaggi fight a signature win because he won a welterweight title because he moved up 2 weight classes, okay, you can have that. To me, that was not a signature win. That only because they had the title attached to it. If you'd have moved up 2 weight classes and fought Paul Malignaggi and wasn't no title attached to it, people would have been like, okay, you beat Paul Malignaggi. It's just the title was attached to it. So Adrian Broner does not even have a signature win. He's a 3-time world champion without a signature win. Now, his best performance, in my opinion, was the Antonio DeMarco fight. That was his best performance. That was the best performance I seen. Antonio DeMarco was a decent fighter then, and that was the best performance I seen from Adrian Broner. And since then, it was downhill from there. Because the Paul Malignaggi fight was less than impressive to me, and from then on there it was less than impressive. I mean, Emmanuel Taylor was a close fight. Carlos Molina, he won that fight. John Molina Jr., he dominated him. He lost to Sean Porter, like I said. Ashley Theophane was a decent fight, but he won that fight hands down. Mikey Garcia lost. Jesse Vargas draw. So, like I said, he gonna lose. His track record says he gonna lose to Pacquiao, but it's gonna be people out there say he gonna beat Pacquiao. He's gonna let his hands go. We all know that dude is not going to let his hands go. How long has people been waiting for? We've been waiting since the Antonio DeMarco fight for Adrian Broner to really let his hands go. I'm gonna be honest with you. In the Antonio DeMarco fight, he let his hands go very well. We've been waiting, or people who support and believe in Adrian Broner has been waiting since then for him to let his hands go. And these are the same people that are going to come out and say, Adrian Broner, he's going to let his hands go in this fight. And then after the fight, people are going to say, well, he only lost the fight because he didn't let his hands go. And then, to me, that leaves an excuse for Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner has come out in multiple interviews and saying, well, I'm not fighting the way I should fight. If I fight the way I should fight, I'll beat anybody. Man, you've been saying that for 3-4 years now. You are what you are. Adrian Broner is what he is. Is he capable of beating Pacquiao? He's capable. He has the record, he has the tools, but he doesn't know. He doesn't bring the tools out. And even, you know what? Even the Broner that beat Antonio DeMarco still will have a hard time beating Manny Pacquiao. Antonio DeMarco stood right in front of him. Like I said, he's much out of the mode of a Errol Spence. If you stand in front of Errol Spence, you're going to take a lot of damaging punishment. If you give Errol Spence some movement, you can win that fight if you are a fighter they got some skill, and you have to be able to handle yourself. You have to know what you're doing in there, like a Terrence Crawford, like a Keith Thurman, if Keith Thurman is right. You know what I'm saying? So, possibly like a Sean Porter to a lesser degree, because Sean Porter has really good movement. Sean Porter is underrated. I don't like Sean Porter's style per se, but Sean Porter is another one. If you can't handle Sean Porter's style, you can't handle Sean Porter's physicality, Sean Porter gonna beat you. Is gonna beat you. Now, a lot of people say that Earl Spence is the biggest welterweight in the division, but Sean Porter is the more physical welterweight by far in that whole division. Sean Porter fights a physical fight. Earl Spence is big, but Earl Spence doesn't fight a physical fight. He's not physical. He's not. Yeah, he goes to the body, but so does Sean Porter. So do Keith Thurman. So do Terrence Crawford. They're not volume body punchers, but they go to the body and they can get the job done by going to the body. That's that's be a good fight. Yeah, that'd be a good fight. But Sean Porter is a physical welterweight. He's not only strong, he's a fit. He physically puts his shoulder on you. He's going to hit you in the back. He's going to hit you in the thighs. He's going to hit you in the hip. He's going to hit you behind the head. He's going to try to bull rush you. Sean Porter fights physical. People may say Earl Spence is the biggest welterweight, but he doesn't use his size the way Sean Porter uses his size. And if you can't handle Sean Porter's style, you're going to lose. Earl Spence can lose to Sean Porter. I know that may be news to people, that may be blasphemous to people, but it's some people that just look at Earl Spence as being he boxes good. Yeah. I mean, Sean Porter boxes good in his own way. Let's put it that way. I'm not really big on Sean Porter's style, but it works for him. You know what I'm saying? It works for him. But what I'm going to say is this. Sean Porter can beat Earl Spence. Sean Porter could beat Keith Thurman. That fight was a pretty good fight between him and Keith Thurman. Although I was one of the ones that thought Keith Thurman won that fight 8-4. It was a close 8-4. You can lose an 8-4 fight and it still be close. So I thought, I think Sean Porter can go in there and beat Earl Spence. He can beat Terrence Crawford. If Terrence Crawford is not on his game, if you're not on your game, you know what I'm saying, and you're a better skillful fighter than Sean Porter, you better be on your game. You better be on your A game because Sean Porter can beat you. He does a lot of unorthodox things with his foot movement. He moves in and out. Like I said, he gets physical in there. He can wear you down mentally if you're not mentally strong, and he can wear you down mentally. I believe he wore Danny Garcia down mentally down the stretch in that fight. That's why he won that fight. He wore Danny Garcia down mentally. So, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Sean Porter's style, but he's successful in it. You think GG going to ESPN? He may go to ESPN. It's going to be a lot of fighters go to ESPN. Look, when Earl Spence said that he's not going to fight on ESPN, I don't know what he was thinking. ESPN is the biggest sports network in the world, period. ESPN reached more households than Showtime. ESPN reached more showtimes than HBO and Showtime combined. So when he said he's not going to fight on ESPN, I don't know. Do he not think that ESPN has any money to pay him? Because ESPN is owned by Disney. Disney money is long. Disney money is longer than Showtime's money. Disney money is longer than HBO's money. So people look at Showtime as a cheap platform for fighters to fight on. Yeah, Canelo went to the Zone. The Zone gave him a lot of money, man. The Zone gave him a lot of money. Hey, take it. If they're gonna give you all that money for 11 fight deal, I know we all know Mayweather. He came out and said that he can make more money than Canelo in one fight. Yeah, he can. Yes, he can. But we all know how Mayweather is. Mayweather called him a drug cheat. But I believe when everybody was talking about, when that drug thing came down about Canelo, I believe Mayweather came out and said something that was favorable to Canelo at the time. You know what I'm saying? Now that him and Oscar got into it, now he's saying Canelo was a drug cheater. He said he believed Canelo was on drugs when they fought, and he said it didn't matter that Canelo was on drugs. He beat him anyway. You see what I mean? Mayweather D Money Zone the Zone is taking over. I mean, look, I don't care if the Zone taking over. I don't care if ESPN taking over. I don't care if Showtime taking over. As long as they give me the fights I want to see, I'm gonna tune into whoever is giving me the fights I want to see. I mean, look, he got that. Hey, good for Canelo. He got a big deal, but I'm not really concerned about these guys' money. I'm not concerned what station they fight on. I'm not even concerned. I'm not concerned about their promoters. I'm just concerned about the guys getting in the ring, giving me the fights I want to see. That's it. I don't care about them. Good for them. Good for him. He got anytime a person can get a lot of money and can take care of their family for generations, that's great. But my concern is, who is Canelo going to fight now? Is he going to fight the Danny Jacobs of the world? Are he going to fight the you know what I'm saying, the Demetrius Andrades of the world? Is he going to fight you know what I'm saying? Is he going to fight the Charlos of the world? You know what I'm saying? Is he gonna give us those fights? Or, like I said earlier in my video, is this one of those deals to where how Mayweather signed that deal with Showtime and Mayweather didn't get us he gave us only one fight that we really wanted to see, and that fight was 5 years in the making. Is Canelo gonna just fight marginal fighters with this deal, or is he gonna fight challenging fights? Bro, I respect Floyd, but after the Pacquiao fight, he showed me he doesn't want to fight any. Yeah. Mayweather, look, Mayweather stopped fighting competitive fights right after he beat De La Hoya. You know what I'm saying? He was virtually on a retirement. That was a retirement check that he got from Showtime. That big money contract he signed with. Yeah, I know. I know he's finna fight Khabib now. Mayweather's like a circus now. Mayweather's like a circus act. That's what Mayweather is. He's turned into more of a circus act. Now he's finna fight Khabib after he fight McGregor. But he getting his money. Hey, I'm not mad at him because if he fight Khabib, the MMA people gonna think Khabib got a chance to win. They're gonna tune in. They're gonna buy the pay per view. He gonna make a lot of money. Khabib gonna make a lot of money. And I heard McGregor supposed to fight Paulie Malignaggi on the undercard. So, hey, he gonna make a lot of money, man. I'm not mad at him. He's only going to fight his own fighters. When Floyd got the Showtime deal, he only fought. Yeah, you're right. He only fought Showtime fighters. Yeah, I mean, but what significant middleweights DAZN has? I mean, yeah, they do have Danny Jacobs. So I mean, but that's only one though. They need. I mean, they got Demetrius Andrade now. So they need more though. I want them to fight the Charlos though, man. So where these fighters sign is important. Yeah, at the end of the day, he see it as a business. Cannot. No, I can't be mad. Hey, look, I'm not mad at him. I just want to see the fights. I just want to see fighters fight the fights I want to see them fight. I don't care how much money they making. It's good for him that he got the money. It's good for him got the money. I wish all the fighters get good money, but get in the ring and get in the. Don't forget about the sport of boxing though. Don't forget to get in there and fight competitive fights. You know what I'm saying? I know you got your money, but I want to see competitive fights. That's what I want to see. I want to see him fight Charlo. Either he got to fight Charlo, he got to drop that belt. He got to drop that WBC title. If he don't want to fight Charlo, go ahead and drop the belt, man. He dropped the belt before. Canelo dropped the belt before. Y'all remember he dropped the WBC title right after he defeated Cotto, because the WBC had recommended that he fought Triple G. Remember? He said, I'm not going to let the sanctioning body dictate who I fight, and he dropped it. Bro, I heard Canelo will fight Jacobs. Okay. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. That's a good start. I like to see that fight. I like to see him fight Jacobs. That's a good start. That's a good fight for him. That's a good competitive fight. That's like I said. I want to see competitive fights, man. I want to see competitive fights. And whichever network got the competitive fight, I want to see the competitive fight. Jacobs better or Charlo. Jacobs is more proven. Charlo has not. Well, let me say this. I like Jacobs. I think Charlo maybe is the better fighter. Now, I'm trying to figure out what significant fight Jacobs won. Yeah, he beat Peter Quillen. Okay, he beat Peter Quillen. But who did Peter Quillen beat that was significant? You know what I'm saying? So because these guys are not fighting each other, you know what I'm saying? They're not mixing it up. It's hard to find out who's good and who's really not good. You know what I'm saying? So Jacob's biggest win was against Peter Quillen, but before he beat Peter Quillen, who was the most significant win on Peter Quillen's record? You know what I'm saying? So I can't say. I'm gonna say, but Charlo, who has he really beat that was really significant? You know what I'm saying? He hasn't really had his shot. I'm gonna put it that way. He hasn't had his shot since his good announcers, bro. Yeah. So Charlo has not really had his shot. So Charlo, I want to see Charlo get a shot so I can evaluate him properly. I think Charlo is a good fighter. I think Charlo can beat Canelo, but I also think Canelo can beat Charlo. I also think Jacobs can beat Charlo, but I think Charlo could beat Jacobs too. But let's see them fight, bro. So it's official. GGG Duck Charlo. I can't say Triple G Duck Charlo, man. You know what I'm saying? Charlo was supposed to get the fight with the winner of Triple G and Canelo. Canelo moved up and is finna fight some other guy that he moved. Now I'm fine with that. That Canelo, if he move up, he finna fight this guy. Okay, I'm fine with that. But when he come back down, he has to fight Charlo. Triple G is not obligated to fight Charlo. Now, what I would like to see Triple G fight Canelo, fight Charlo. Yeah, I would like to see that because I think that's a really good fight. I think that's a really good fight. But Triple G is so discouraged that he believe he won both fights. I believe Triple G won both fights. In the second fight, I can understand why people pick Canelo because that was a very, very competitive fight. So I don't think no, it's not official that Triple G ducked Charlo. No, it's not. To me, in my opinion, it's not official. Everybody else got their own opinions, but it's not official to me that he jumped him. Bro, you know the WBC ordered Triple G. Yes, I know he or yes, but Triple G does not have a title, so they can't really order Triple G to fight Charlo. You understand that, right? You understand the only no what the WBC said was if Triple G wants to fight Canelo again, if he wants to get another shot at Canelo, he has to defeat Charlo. Yeah, but Triple G hasn't signed anywhere. So that's they cannot order Triple G to fight anybody because Triple G doesn't have the WBC title. Canelo has the WBC title. They should have ordered Canelo to fight Charlo. That's what they should have did because Charlo is the mandatory to whoever won that fight, and Canelo won the fight officially. So he's supposed to be obligated to fight Charlo, not Triple G. They can't mandate Triple G to fight anybody. The only way you can do that is if the fighter is holding your title, bro. But I want to see, yeah, I want to see Triple G and Charlo too. But we talking about two different things. We talking about what the WBC can and can't do. I'm trying to tell you that the WBC cannot mandate that Triple G fight Charlo. They can't do that. Now they can say if you want another shot at Canelo, you have to fight and beat Charlo. That's what they can say, but they can't mandate for him to fight him. But yeah, yeah, you right. That'd be a great explosive fight. I would love to see that fight. But I don't think Triple G is going to fight Charlo. Triple G versus Charlo can still, yeah, it can still happen. I would love to see Triple G go ahead and fight Charlo, man. I want to see really how good Charlo is. I really want to see how good Charlo is, and I don't have he has talent. I see the talent. I see the boxing skill that he has. You know what I'm saying? But that only can show me so much. You have to go in the ring and show me against. You have to put all of that against an opponent. Imagine Charlo beat Triple G versus he will look Charlo going to Canelo fight. Yeah, but look, Asa De La Hoya has plans for Charlo. Both Charlos haven't really beat. Yeah, both they're not getting the shot that I want to see them get. Now the 154, I want to see him fight Jared Hurd. Him and Jared Hurd would show me. Now those two, when those two fight, that will give me a clear picture of how good those two fighters. Now Jared Hurd, to his credit, he already beat Laura, so he already has a significant fight under his belt. So I see Jared Hurd is good. Jared Hurd is good. Charlo are being denied for yeah, they are being denied because they are dangerous fighters. They are dangerous fighters. They're very skilled, very talented fighters. So yes, they are being boxed in, to some extent. But so I know Jared Hurd is good because he beat Laura. He beat Laura. So I don't know how good the Charlo is at 154. If he fight Jared Hurd, if he can beat Jared Hurd, then I would say yes, he's arrived. They fought, yeah, Van Rosa and Trout. Yeah, yeah, but Trout, Trout. Trout is to me, Trout is a gatekeeper now. Vanna Rosa, gatekeeper. I respect what's that dude name that you I respect him because he fought everybody, but he's a gatekeeper too. All three of those guys are gatekeepers. They beat them, but you're supposed to beat gatekeepers. But like I said, man, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. But bro, who looked better, Trout, Canelo, or Charlo? Oh, but see, Canelo fought Trout before he was a gatekeeper. Canelo beat Trout after Trout beat Cotto. So to me, Canelo beat the better Trout. Trout by the time the Charlos beat Trout was already done in my book. Trout was already gatekeeper status. Canelo beat the better Trout in my opinion. He beat the better Trout, the more fresher Trout, and Trout was undefeated at that time. People got to realize Trout, Venice and Alonzo get KO'd by everyone but the Charlos. Yeah, you right. The Charlos didn't get rid of them. You right. But they're tough fighters though. You know what I'm saying? They're tough fighters. Both of those fighters are tough fighters, man. But yeah, you right. You got to, bro. You keep it. Yeah, man. I keep it real, man. Hurd is the real deal. I'm not a I'm a realist, man. I can't fool myself. You know what I'm saying? You can't lie to yourself because you have to live with yourself. So you have to some extent, just tell it like it is, man. Tell it like it is, and if a person don't like it, then they don't like it, man. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't like the truth. Some people can't handle the truth. Some people rather you tell them a lie. Bro, my two black fighters are Spence and Crawford. Yeah, I like Spence and Crawford. I like I got Crawford beating Spence, but I like both fighters. I just think Crawford just has too many weapons, just too many. He can just do too much, and he does too much well. That's another thing about Crawford. Look, Spence does what he does, and Spence at what he does. Come forward, front foot happy. He's trying to get you out of there. You got to respect the man that's trying to, trying to knock the other man's head off. So I respect Spence for that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm one of the ones that picked Brook to beat Spence. But, Spence went to Sheffield. It's hard to even go to somebody else's state. He went to another country in a man's backyard and beat the man. So you got to respect that. You got to take your hat off to Spence. But when it comes to Terence Crawford is a whole nother thing. And now Crawford shows he can. Yeah, I told people when Terence Crawford was at 135 that Terence Crawford was going to be able to beat welterweights. Everybody told me he was too small. I remember I made a video. People was coming on saying that he was too small and all this and all that. He's going to get beat. Those guys are too big. And I told them, I said, Terence Crawford, the way he fights, the style in which he fights in is conducive to moving up. He has a pretty good punch. He got educated feet. And what I mean by educated feet is he moves with a purpose. He just don't move and bounce around like a bunny just to move around. He has boxing skills, really good jab, and he can fight orthodox or he can fight southpaw, and he can fight and win fights on his back foot. He has a back foot game. So that's why I said, and he has the same exact dimensions as Floyd Mayweather. He has that long reach for his height. He has like a 74-inch reach. He has that long Skeletor, strong body. See, everybody thought when you look at Mayweather that they can bully Mayweather, but I never seen Mayweather get bullied in the ring. You know what I'm saying? I was the same way when I was younger. Skinny, Skeletor, skinny body. People look at me like they can bully me, but I used to slam everybody. I used to slam big guys. You can't just look at a guy and look at him and say, oh, he's not strong because he looks skinny. No. I know a lot of skinny guys. You know what I'm saying? Skinny guys that were strong. So You can't just look at a guy's frame and say that he's strong or weak. Bro, I was shocked. He knocked down Benavidez. I was expecting a decision. And he not only knocked down Benavidez, he knocked him down in the 12th round after throwing all those punches. You know what I'm saying? After, you know, putting out a lot of energy, he was able to knock the guy out in the 12th round. That's more impressive. Knocking a guy out in the 12th round is more impressive than knocking a guy out in the first round because you don't have that much strength left. I mean, you used a lot of energy and you still was able to knock a guy down and then finish a guy, and then the uppercut, man. Do you know how hard it is to land that punch on somebody and time it that well? Man, see, I've been in the boxing ring. I used to box. I had a couple professional fights, so I know my way around the gym. The uppercut is not only the hardest punch to throw and to land with consistency, it's the hardest punch to defend. I remember I sparred this one guy that had a nasty uppercut, and he threw it from a weird angle. It took me, I think I sparred at least 8 or 9 rounds with him. It took me about 5 rounds to pick up the trajectory of that uppercut. He hit me with that uppercut more than I got hit with that uppercut more than anybody I fought combined. He hit me with that uppercut at least 8 times. At least 8 times before I picked up what he picked up and found a defense for it. It's hard to defend an uppercut, especially when a person can throw the uppercut very well. Like, yeah, do y'all remember Andre Berto uppercut? Andre Berto had a vicious uppercut. He don't really use it no more, but Andre Berto has a vicious. Floyd Mayweather has a good uppercut. Floyd Mayweather had Mayweather had hand problems by the time. Yeah. He had hand problems by the time he moved up to 147. Floyd Mayweather has always had hand problems. Bud is going to be, in my opinion, Bud beats Spence. But I want to see it. I don't want to keep talking about Bud and Spence like we did with Pacquiao and Mayweather for 4 or 5 years. Boxing, he didn't want to defense. That at that highest level, defense is what wins fights. And between Earl Spence and Crawford, Crawford has a better defense. See, people looking at Crawford like people saying Crawford getting hit a lot. Crawford, yes, because Crawford was trying to hunt down Benavidez. But if you see Crawford when he fought Victor Postal, Crawford can get on his back foot and win the fight on his back foot. Now it won't look impressive. It will be kind of boring a little bit. But Terence Crawford can get on his back foot and win a fight on his back foot. Don't get it twisted. And when he break you down from that, because you can still break a person down fighting on your back foot. You know what I'm saying? You can break him down mentally. You can break him down physically. Then you can see him coming on his front foot and finishing guys. That's what Crawford likes to do. You know what I'm saying? Against bigger, taller guys. Benavidez, he went in early against Benavidez and tried to, you know what I'm saying, impose his will on Benavidez too early in that fight. That's why he was getting hit early. You know what I'm saying? If you'd have started off on his back foot, because Benavidez wanted Terence Crawford to come to him. That's why he was doing what he did in the press conference. That's why he pushed him in the press conference, because he wanted Terence Crawford to get emotional in the fight and come forward. Because Benavidez is not a hunter. Benavidez is a counterpuncher by nature. But Terence Crawford can fight all different type of ways. That's what makes him dangerous. But I'm gonna get out of here, man. It's my daughter's birthday, man. I'm gonna take her to go get something to eat, man. I'm gonna get out of here. Hey, y'all, I'll be back later, or tomorrow or whatever. I'm out, y'all. If y'all haven't subscribed to the channel, man, the guys that on here, subscribe to the channel. I'm out. What? What? So far it's still on. It could have went out. I'm gonna check it. I do it when I come up there.